Hey everyone, welcome to Teachers Lab PD, Teachers Lab. We do PD sessions for teachers only. So I want to welcome everyone who joined us, and I want to say hi to amazing Anita, Stormy, and Juan. Thanks so much for tuning in. I can't wait to announce what we're talking about today. Amazing title for our today's webinar. New year, new flip updates with incredible and brilliant Andy Knueven. And I would love to ask you a very common question here: from which part of the world you're tuning from, and what is your teaching role? Please do share in this live chat, so it's open for you, and drop me some lines. What temperature is outside at your area? Because here it's like 30 degrees below zero, and it's freaking frozen and cold. So I'm going to invite Andy right now. Andy, welcome to Teachers Lab Edu PD live show, and I'm super grateful that you joined us for the second time, right?
Uh, Thank you, Anna. I have been looking forward to reconnecting, talking. Our first discussion talking about just the impact of
Minecraft.
Minecraft in the classroom. It was great, and then of course all of our connections within the Flip community as a student voice ambassador through all. Every time we connect, even we did the tweet meet on hybrid learning,
Yeah,
and
it was amazing. I
yeah.
loved it.
So, it's just one of those things that I thoroughly enjoy every connection that we have. So, thank you again for having me.
Thank you so much. I want to give a great shout out to Microsoft Flip for, like collecting such brilliant educators as you are. And right now, I would love to start sharing this beautiful Wakelet collection that you prepared for today. It's epic. Like I remember the previous one that you made for, Minecraft and education session. And I have no words to describe. So many great resources, incredible PD resources that uh, I'm so grateful for this again. And Andy, would you like to give yourself brief self introduction? Like I know that you're in teaching for like you've been for 15 years so far, right? Is it
Yes,
correct?
absolutely.
14.
Yeah. So, my background, I was a special education teacher for 6 years within a middle school. Primarily, our middle school is, at least in my community, my town is fifth through eighth grade. So, which is it's a beautiful blend between ages, but it does cross four grade levels. So, teaching special education really across all four grade levels, but the most time was more in that seventh and eighth grade time frame. But
Wow.
then I transitioned into the general classroom, teaching fifth grade math and science, still within the same building, which was, again, a lot of fun. That community is such an important thing. So, knowing that
Yes.
school culture, knowing what the initiatives are, and it just was a great transition there. Um, I was in the classroom teaching math and science, and that's actually where I discovered Flip, or Flipgrid at the time, which
Yeah.
was game changing, and it was a phenomenal, addition to the classroom of use of instruction. And then I was a tech coach for my school district. And so that then got me out of that school building. I then bridged across multiple schools, elementaries, supporting K-12 at that point, and administration support from there. But now I am so thrilled every day. I am you know honored, blessed to be able to support and celebrate the Flip community as a educator innovation lead, part of Flip.
It's fantastic. And right now I would love to ask you my favorite question, I guess. Like, what is inclusive education? What does it mean to you? So you've been in special education for 14 years. Like,
Yeah, so I love it, and it's one of the things of the benefit also to utilize Flip to support an inclusive education for all. And that's really the important part of it, is that you are creating a classroom structure that recognizes, that celebrates, that supports every student, recognizing regardless of an individual's specific needs or their backgrounds. uh,
yeah.
it's giving everybody a chance to share their voice, to be able to collaborate, work together, having a sense of respect. I mean, that was my number one thing in my classroom. I mean, it was if you have respect, then every other rule essentially just kind of falls into place naturally. And so having that respectful environment, whether you're face to face, whether you're connecting virtually, you have that. And that's what also creates that inclusive classroom, that inclusive education for all of your students. Promoting
Wow.
that positivity, which I always told my students, using the old Flipgrid logo is that green plus sign. And
Yeah,
so
I
I always
remember
stress the
this.
idea of, yeah, you're adding content, you're adding your voice to things. However, I always stress the idea that that plus also represents the positivity, that sense of community and respect that you're adding, because you want to have a positive impact on what you're sharing. And so that same concept, which I love sharing, of course, with
Yeah.
Flip, having the new logo of a smubble is that smiling speech bubble. And again, showing and sharing the idea of positivity, of empowering students to feel confident and comfortable to have a space that they can share their voice, that a teacher is listening to them. And that's a big part of Flip, is that you have
Yes.
an asynchronous structure, but giving students the ability to share their voice, that creates a beautiful learning community, and let students just shine through creativity and uh, creating an equitable like learning space for everybody.
No comments. Because, you know, so inspiring again. And, let's get back to this collection because,
Sorry,
well,
yeah, it's a passion. I love it,
it's
and it's one of those things of
Flip
having
Team. What can I say?
sorry, when you posed the question, oh my gosh, it means so much. Yes.
It means so much indeed. And I will share also with the link, and you can actually find it on YouTube. Please do join us on YouTube if you watch us on Facebook. In the box, description box, there's the link to the previous, session where Andy has shared with his passion how Minecraft to do benefits the classroom. I'm going to share with the link to this live very soon. It's like recording. And yeah, this is a highlight from Instagram and all of the socials. If you want to follow us, they are all in this collection. I'm going to share in our chat box on YouTube. So join on YouTube. And of course, this is something, Andy, that you would love to mention, I think. Something about
Yes.
PD
Oh, let's go
certificate.
that way. With my yeah. So absolutely. At the end, as everybody, I hope that one, you're tuning in, you are familiar with Flip. But I will definitely, give a quick breakdown of what Flip is. But if you're part of the Flip community, one, if you're not, you are now. You are part of it. We welcomed you in. But Flip listens. You ask and we listen. So the idea that feedback that you provide, whether it's an idea of, hey, here's an idea that would help further support my classroom, my students, to further empower every voice. I mean, we listen to that, but also if you have ideas, if you find something you're like, hey, how do I do this? Send us that feedback. But there's going to be a link that AKA, and I'll verbally say it, but I know we'll share it out there, aka.ms/flip PD feedback. And that is going to be give us that feedback, give us the ideas. But yes, so the PD certificate at the end of that survey, you're going to have the chance to then complete a quick form that you then will get a PD certificate of completion, recognizing your time, your attendance. We're teachers, we talk about attendance. So you'll earn that hour of continuing ed credit, professional growth points, whatever your school may call it. But you can then take that and utilize it for continuing your learning.
This is fantastic. Yes, Dr. Michael Harvey is here. Stormy is here. Yes, PD
Oh,
certificates, they're great, especially if they're from Microsoft Leap. So I want to say hi to everyone again who joined us today. You're amazing. I can see our geography is really wide today. Thanks, Anita, again for joining. And Juan, thanks so much. And
wave, I see it.
Hola, Miguelito. Yeah,
We call it the
yeah,
microwave.
yeah. Yeah, Michael is in Spain right now. He's enjoying tapas con paella, todas las cosas. Yeah. Hello, Jadranka. Yeah. Thanks again. Thanks everyone who joined us. And what we would like to mention, yes, do please share your beautiful voices on Twitter, on Instagram. Don't forget to tag teachers. First things first, Andy. You can see there is the running line, so you can see I will share in our YouTube, Q&A box, all of the information. You can just copy paste. It will be much easier this time. So you can tag Microsoft Fleet, myself, and don't forget to use the hashtag Teachers Love You Do. And we are going to grab all of your beautiful highlights to feedback Wakelet collection. Is going to be amazing. And what we would love to mention else for now, like the resources are incredible. I'm going to share with the link to PD certificates closer to the end of this session. So please do stay tuned, and then you can see the link in our Q&A box, where you can fill in the form and get your PD certificate. It's going to be really easy. And if you watch us as a recorded version, I love to say that. I love saying that. So you can easily, use this link because chat is going to be on, even if it's just the recording. So stay tuned. And so, Andy, what we are going to do next?
All right, so I would love to be able to share my screen to be able to simply give you a quick, intro of some ideas as we learn together of what Flip is, and then dive into, of course, that's why you're here to see and talk about these new Flip updates. It's a new year, we have new possibilities to be able to share and utilize Flip. So 100%. Thank you for tuning in. Whether you're, I'm thankful, thank you for joining in live, but the recording 100%. That's the beauty also of Flip, is that you can pause, rewind, rewatch, and so thank you for catching the replay if this is a recording for you. But connect with us, of course, on social, and if you're familiar with Flipgrid, we are Flip. And there's that beautiful smubble, that smiling speech bubble, still all about positivity, still all about sharing and celebrating, empowering every voice. And again, yes, the at Microsoft Flip is the Flip handle on all the socials. So I hope you feel encouraged to share those screenshots. I mean, I love however you capture your screen, do that. Throw it out there on social, tag at Microsoft Flip, tag me at Mr. Coach K15. And we love celebrating you, all of your joys and aha moments of how you can utilize Flip, because Flip is social learning. We are wanting to connect with others, whether it's in our school, our classrooms, our communities, but then even better is that global community that we are all part of. So Flip is social learning, where you have the ability to share whenever, wherever you are. And Flip is free. I can't stress that enough, is that it's free, that it's not limited to the number of groups and topics or responses, not limited to the number of members that can join, not limited to the number of responses that are out there. And it's not limited to just like, oh, you have 3 months or you have 14 days. No, it's yours. So make it what you want out of it. And that's what's fun, is that it's our mission. And I say our as that beautiful, collaborative phrasing, our, because you're part of that Flip community, to make learning fun, fulfilling, and empowering for everyone. And that's that inclusive classroom, that inclusive education for everybody, to be able to share and celebrate everybody. So to get started with Flip, you're going to create a group. Your group is your community. And that's what's beautiful, is that it could be whether it's your family, your own personal family, maybe it is a school family, maybe it's your community or a global sense, but you have control over the permissions to create that safe, secure, but also inclusive environment. And then you have topics. And those are your ideas, those prompts that promote discussions and discourse, maybe even a debate. I love that part of it, because then you get that feedback from each other. Again, that inclusive education, that inclusive classroom, is that you promote students to be able to share their voice and comment, reply back in video. And that is truly what promotes and creates such an engaging classroom and engaging use is where you are not just recipients. You're not
Yeah.
just sitting there and um, I'm going to say capturing it. You want to be creating those moments with your
This
students.
very essential. I like totally agree.
So yeah, and so that's where then once you create that topic, this is my favorite part is creating a space for your students to share their voice, and you can watch the magic happen. So in this, I love this because you now have the ability to see students shine, and whether they are using any of the modes that are part of Flip, of whether it's create mode, it's the video that we all have came to love because that's it's a lens into your students, it's a lens into your community, but then you have the mic only mode, and that's where you can still promote, encourage, and celebrate every voice regardless if they maybe camera shy, maybe that you have students who just don't want to be seen but they have brilliant ideas.
Yes.
But I also can't stress enough of using that mic only for student podcasts to be creative with, just having those the the different ideas that you can mix and match all three of these together as well. So I can't wait to be able to dive into some live demo of it as well. But I'd be remiss if I didn't share the idea that just as easy as it is for 3 steps to use Flip, it's easy as ABC as well. Of having that asynchronous access for and accessibility. Again, going back to that inclusive education is that Flip has so many beautiful accessibility tools like immersive reader that is layered in so many spaces. I know
Yes.
that we see that in so many different Microsoft products and platforms, different partners that Flip also has, but having that across multiple spaces, um, you are creating a community of learners, and that community is that respectful, that uh, supportive environment. And then that's where once you have that foundation, then people are comfortable to share their creativity and let that be heard and seen in whatever creative way that you utilize that Flip camera. So I know that this one we see it in so many different spaces, but you find yourselves, and I know that as I look at the list of people who are part of the live event right now, I know Stormy and Michael and Sean. Oh my gosh,
Sean, yeah,
uh,
Sean is here.
so I mean, there's so many people that Fernando. I mean, there's so many people in here that have shared their ideas that are all part of the Discovery Library, and that is what makes the Flip community such a beautiful thing. It means
Yes.
so much to me to be part of it, but to be able
Yes.
to celebrate and just share the love back to everybody as well, because your ideas utilizing Flip just is what makes it so special. Because as the savvy educator Janae Armont says, if you can think it,
You
you can
can
flip it.
flip it. Yay. And I
So
love this comment, Andy. Sorry for interrupting you.
oh
Inclusion
yeah,
is crucial for an ESL environment. This is from Fernando. Super agree. Yeah, totally.
absolutely. I mean, to be able to give your students the ability to share their voice, whether it's in their native language, whether they are learning a new language, but then letting them practice, see their growth. I mean, I have talked with Randall Sampson, another amazing educator in the
Yeah.
the Flip community, but we've talked a lot on using Flip for progress reports to have students have that space that you then are able to share in a maybe a mixtape, or you have a topic for a student to be able to collaboratively see growth over a year or over their entire schooling in that
Yeah.
setting. So many
Like
creative ways.
voice portfolios love this idea. And there's another great comment from Heidi, or Heidi, I'm sorry if I'm pronouncing your name incorrectly. So inclusion and equity is so very important in creating a warm and welcoming environment in our classrooms. I love how Flip gives even our quietest, shy sometimes mute students a voice.
100%. Yes, Heidi. My one of my first years of using Flip in the classroom. I started using Flip 2017, and so
Wow.
many people in the community mean so much. But having a student who uh, was selective mute, to be able to have a space that then she felt comfortable to be able to share her voice where she was comfortable. It gave that quiet student in the back a chance to be able to be seen or heard. It gave a student who may not be the quickest to raise their hand. And that's where, when you're talking through a lesson, the quickest person to reply doesn't mean that they are the smartest one. It doesn't mean that they
Yes.
are the best at it. As a math teacher, I always I always talked about, just because you get the answer done first doesn't mean that you understand it better than another student who needs it more time to process it. They still understand the content. You don't want to race through to just get it done. You want to do it and understand it, because things only progressively get harder, more challenging, but learn how to apply that in more situations beyond just that singular problem or unit for sure.
Wow. There are so many great comments. I can't stop. Really promotes interaction and inclusion. True. Like,
Oh, for sure. So, I would love to be able to jump into, sharing, what Flip is, and actually, getting into the actual, use of Flip. Um, so, you're seeing the Flip dashboard, essentially your educator dashboard that we are seeing. And I always love showcasing and sharing some of these, special features that make it unique for each person.
wow.
Because, or you have a unified view. So no matter whether you're the teacher, you're the student, or whatever, capacity, everybody is still going to flip.com, and that lets everybody just an ease of, not saying like, oh, are you going to this login site? Everybody has the same space. However, your controls are unique to you. As I am looking over, we have, one, the idea that you can toggle over your group listing. So one, if you want to have more space to see, the screen of what your topics are or those responses, then you can toggle that over. You see the topic or those group labels, those names, but creating a group is right here at the top, where we're going to hit plus group, and let's create a group real quick, because that's what makes Flip so fun, is that it's
Wow.
easy.
I love this one.
Um, so we're creating a group. Again, Flip is for everybody. It's for regardless whatever, creative space that you may be part of. Flip is for you. And so as we're looking through, you have controls over how you want to share your group. So let's have a professional development group here, and
Love this one.
and so right here at the top, we're going to give it a name, and so let's call this. Oh goodness, we're gonna you and I have to use my hashtag. You can even learn, and we're gonna call this Teachers Love EDU. So we're all gonna, yes, you can even learn that teachers love EDU.
Yeah.
And so do I have, yes, we have another hash, we have characters that we can use here. So we have our titling. We can then make this unique to your community. I always loved, as the lead of the group when I created it for my classroom, of making this cover image fit the theme. And now you use Flip however you need to. Whether you have a group that's for the entire semester, the entire quarter, or the entire year, whatever makes sense to you. Now, I also use Flip to make units. So when I had a specific focus on geometry, or I had Flip for our Rube Goldberg experiments that we were building in science, I made a specific group for that. And so I created different images, but you can utilize any of these. Oh my gosh,
I
the
love
beautiful
this
artwork.
library.
Yeah,
Beautiful. Beautiful.
so many creative ways or designs that you can utilize in here, but you can also bring in your own. Um, And that's where like I would take a picture of the science lab and use that as my cover image when we did our Rube Goldberg experiments. When we did
Wow.
geometry, I had a picture there. So it just has that deeper connection to what it is. Um, and I like that colorful one. So let's add that in there. We just created a group like that, right? And so now you have the ability to just instantly use it. There's immediately a space that you can use Flip, whether you're using it for a weekly check-in, which is a great use to let your students share like a newsletter style of your classroom, share what's going on, or you as a teacher are having that as a space that you're giving a newsletter update to your parents or your community. But general, as Ian Cosman says, push all the buttons, play to learn. This
Yeah.
is a fantastic space to be able to share anything. Maybe you want to have a space because kids want to be seen, they want to be heard. I mean,
Yes.
being accepted is such a big part of,
Included.
yes.
Yes.
I mean, again, I mean, we are an inclusive, community, and so having a space to let students share what's going on, outside. What are their hobbies? What creative, spaces, outlets do they have? They can share this, capture even at that moment. Maybe they want to show that that gymnastics event that they went to, or they went someplace with their family or their guardians, or they enjoyed seeing this movie, or they read this great book.
Their
This is
neighborhood, their bedroom, if we talk about, some things
yeah,
in your house. I'm thinking in my way, language teaching, But I love this comment from Juan. So true. First, is not better. Flip allows students to respond at different times and still be part of the discussion. Asynchronous way of adding responses. Wow.
so true. Absolutely. Um, and this gives you that space to be able to let students share when things make sense to them as well, or what clicks, or they reconnect with a content or an idea beyond the classroom. They recognize, oh, I see this pattern, I see this event, I connected with that theme of this literature story that we were reading, and I recognize it in real life. Having a space to let students share that is so good. Um, but then introductions, the introductions of a class, and this is a prime time. I know on social, please connect with me on social at Mr. Coach K15. But I have shared recently, in this time of the year is so important. It's a great time, regardless if your schedule changed or you have a new roster or you have kids that moved in or moved out. Um, Having a space that lets students meet their peers, to hear their names, that ESL component, that emotional, connection, that social learning that we have
Yes.
within our classrooms is so critical to let students meet their peers. I always love sharing the introduction topic or the introduction group that I had at the beginning of the year when I knew I had a new student. I would obviously get their, guardian, their parent emails. I could share those introductions so that they at least knew who their peers were before they walked in,
Yeah. Wow.
and also encourage them to be able to share an introduction themselves. Um, and it just created a little bit of a warmer feel as you get started. And so having that introduction topic automatically part of a group that you start is it's so awesome. Yeah,
It's like you're already connected, when you meet in like not in digital classroom or somewhere, but you know each other a little bit, but it's great.
absolutely. And then, I mean, even what a new feature that update to this is that we can customize our join links. And I know that for some, this was a feature that we utilized and then it kind of got adjusted, but now we can edit our join links. So, of course, I'm almost certain this would be surprising if it's not there, but let's call this you can even learn teachers love edu. I don't think that was going to be a join link already, but we can create that join link. I can copy it, and
Fantastic. Wow.
now you can join in right away because those words mean more than a random set of letters and numbers. Now you can utilize those random numbers and letters as well, but whether you type in that join code, you scan that QR code, it'll take you straight to our group. And absolutely, everybody, you're welcome to have this be a special place that we can share, celebrate, connect with each other, share those aha moments as well. Share how you utilize Flip, after going through today, or if you have great, brilliant ideas, I'd love to have you connect. But a join code that actually it just clicks is Think It, Flip It. To be able to share a group that I would love people to share or learn with each other is our Think It, Flip It group. To be able to capture those aha moments, having teachers share uses of how they've utilized it in the classroom, but also this is a great space to be able to connect with the events that we've had, to learn with each other. Again, this is a great group to be able to share and connect with as well. So just a quick jump into creating a group. Editing that group title is also a feature that I would love to be able to make sure you all know. But creating a topic just as easy, where we can then just say, what do we want to talk about? And let's talk about inclusive education.
Yes.
And
Love this one.
so we can have inclusive education as our title in here. You can add in your own image. And I always loved having a topic, this topic media that just creates a more engaging topic. That visual aspect let students know what you're talking about, or bringing in your own image, a video, Bitmoji, GIFs, or stickers.
Yeah, I love this.
But bringing in a video that maybe you created in Flip, you download it, you want to utilize that as an example. But as teachers, we can reuse, we can recreate, but be innovative, that there's resources that we use for content. So if you have a YouTube or a Vimeo video, you can just bring that straight in, or connecting attachments. You can have up to 9 attachments in your topic to be able to support, give a file, give content, or more direction to your students to be able to reference or utilize for their response. So let's just add a quick sticker in here, and we'll do our little guy with the glasses here. And again, being in a space that you have control, whether it's 15 seconds all the way to 10 minutes, you have control as the lead to have a creative space for people to share and learn together. But when I talk about having that inclusive classroom structure, using Flip for so many different ideas and uses, but one of them that you might start off with is having your topic be moderated. And that creates a space that you, as the lead, as a co-lead, only you see that, or as a student, only the teacher, the co-lead, the lead, see your response. All the other members, all the other students in the class won't see your response. And so that just is a nice tool to use. I also use moderated topics when I use Flip for assessments. And so letting students share as an option in Flip, but then you want to let them have it be safe, secure, that only you see it. They're not being seen by all the other peers in their class. But then as a teacher, another great thing, because we're planners, we want to think we're not building everything immediately the day that we teach. So if you want to have a topic made, front load it, and then have it scheduled to be able to go live on a certain day or time, and then to end that it's going to be view only, or it's going to hide. You can control those activation dates as well. And also having those closed captions, you can control some of the the language options that you can have your closed captions be set for. So again, you have some great controls within your settings here. Um, so let's go ahead and create our topic. And first,
Andy, I love that you can moderate every little detail, when you create your group, your topic with your students, and you can feel yourself and like, you share this with your students, like really safe space to share.
mhm,
Like it's super
absolutely.
important.
And so I had created a topic, prior to, so you don't have to see me type through, because another great thing is this description area. And you have 1,000 characters. Like, I don't know about you, but I could talk a lot about Flip. But the
Yeah.
idea that you can give content to your students, you can give direction in the description here, so that you don't need to have to say it over and over again. You don't have
Andy,
to
Andy, I'm
give
sorry, but
direction.
this is for you. This is for you from Stormy. She's with her student, and she says, "Anna, my students say hello and want to say thank you for having this show to teach them about the updates of their favorite tools." So I think the students are watching us right now. So,
Oh my gosh.
Stormy,
Oh, so awesome. Okay. So
yeah,
I can't wait to, I'm going to jump into using the camera here in just a second. Because that's where, we want to share and shine
magic.
our student use of the camera too. So I've copied our topic in here, and I've created my topic, but I have two kids of my own. They're 8 and 5. And Anna, I love the kind of a personal connection. My daughter, her name is Anna, and but still the same. So I just love the idea that she's 5. My son Adam, he's 8, and they are just learning. They're emergent learners in reading. Um, and so a great inclusive tool is our immersive reader. So I have to share immersive reader, the way that we can create a space. I haven't changed any settings in my topic, except I clicked on that book and speaker, which opened up immersive reader. So now students can be able to click and even see it's like the word feels has multiple meanings, whether you are physically feeling something or your emotion. And then feelings adds in another like mental, emotional part of it as well.
Yes.
So that picture dictionary is so dynamic. You have so many controls. I encourage you, again, as Ian Cosman says, push all the buttons, play to learn, click through all these different spaces in immersive reader. But one dynamic one is the language translation. There's over 100 languages. And so when you see that book and speaker icon across so many different parts in Flip, but also across Microsoft and across so many partners, is utilize that. Because I had a student who only spoke Mandarin. He moved in, and
Yeah.
having the ability to give him a space that he understood what was going on in class, because I used OneNote. I would take my Flip videos, and I did all my notes in OneNote, and then I would have flipped video notes where I'd record the lesson sometimes and have it attached to my OneNote, and students could track and follow along. But even in OneNote, immersive reader is in there, so he could translate and see, and then have things be read aloud. That we have so many of the languages that can be like audible as well. Um, Now I think that with my speaker, I'm already utilizing
Yeah.
my audio and camera. So you have control to give your students a space to see things and experience them in their native language. Um, and
And the
again,
pronunciation is perfect. So we've checked with Jaritza, we checked with my students,
yes,
with many people around. It's perfect in Spanish, in English, in Russian, in many languages. There are more than 65 so far. So
yes. Oh my gosh, yes. And that means so much to know that when you use the immersive reader, that you are confident that students are going to be able to see and experience it just as you intended it to be.
yes.
Um, but again, so I mean, Stormy, as your students are seeing this, I've been using the whole thing in dark mode, but there's light mode, and everybody has control over their own
Yes.
visual appearance of Flip. I love I do everything kind of more in dark mode, but you have control over that, to be able to see and have that be, I don't know, things just they pop. They visually,
Yeah.
I don't know, my sensitive eyes, I don't know, but it feels better for me having that dark mode.
Andy,
But
there's
you
a
have
comment
control.
from Sean actually. So sorry again for interrupting you. Love the new web experience looks fantastic in dark mode. Like
Love it.
that's a from Sean. And I'm here. I'm a
So
dark
good
mode
to see,
lover.
yeah. So good
Can't help
to
myself.
know that you're here, Sean. And so, yeah, so let's dive into the flip camera, because this is what makes flip so fun. And actually, I'm gonna stop my video on the stream. So I'm just looking at everybody here, looking this direction. So as we are looking at our flip topic, one again, students, I love, Stormy, that your students are joining in. If you are a teacher watching this on the replay, this is so good. Bring them here right now. So we have our topic where they can click and see what exactly they are wanting to reply about, and have that reference point. Oh my stars, I let me take one
It's like
second. I'm
sticky
not going to lose
note
anybody
before.
here.
Previously, it was sticky note, correct? Is it correct, Andy?
Yes.
Sticky note.
Yeah. So you have, and we still have sticky notes.
Yes.
But I'm going to add in a YouTube, of our reflect of our feelings monster. And so now, again, as we have that preview right here, but even in the response part of it, as a student, as the member replying to our topic, that video is now also part of our uh, topic prompt. And if they needed to have a refresher on what it's about, they can watch that in the topic or in the response. So they don't need to leave, they don't need to pause or download the response. They can see exactly what they need to do. Um, but yes, Anna, you talked about having that sticky note that you can bring this in. And oh my gosh. All right. So bear with me, because I know that we have some literature teachers in here. And so we're going to combine a few different pieces to this. So let's say that we have a uh, let's combine it. Let's jump over. I'm going to actually go to. I'm so excited about this. So let's actually
I love
utilize
this one too.
let's utilize create mode
Oh.
first. All right, this is new. Create mode has the ability that you can create a specific duration of a snapshot, essentially. So you can set it to be 1, 3, or 5 seconds. And so let's have that. I'm just going to leave that as 3. And then let's add in our titling. And oh gosh, Romeo and
Julie,
Juliet.
oh, fantastic.
And of course, I mean, we're gonna go all out here. So Act 2, and of course, I had to make sure that I knew exactly what it was. This is not all off of pure memory.
This
So
is fun.
let's have this locked in here. So it's like a cue card to know exactly, like, all right, what are we doing? So I'm gonna have this be. So I just clicked on this and it captured it. It immediately captured a 3-second moment there. Now, when I jump over to my video, my text can still be there if I want to leave it there. However, I'm going to, let's bring that up just so that I don't lose my space. And then actually, I'm going to copy over what I want to say, because I'm not going to have this memorized, of course. I wish I did. At one point I did. But let's actually just do a small, portion of that. And the most famous, of Romeo and Juliet is that balcony scene. And so I'm not going to have this memorized. So I'm going to put this right front and center on my screen. It's actually over my face as we talk, but in the final product, it's not going to be there. And so now let's layer in a beautiful backdrop.
Oh, I
And of
love
course,
this. I love
so
them
we
a lot.
have our backdrop, and let's actually bring myself. I don't need to be that
Andy,
big. How
and
big do
here's
you
a question. Are you using a green
think?
screen right now behind you? Is there any?
No, no.
You
This is
see? And it
all
looks
built right
perfect.
into. This is all built right into Flip.
It,
We don't
yeah,
need any special equipment, so I
fantastic.
can adjust myself, and there we go. So, oh, and I, of course, let's mirror so that my words on my shirt. This is great when if you have words that are seen, if you're doing a book review, a book title, you want to have those words be seen exactly how you want them to be. So let's put that in there. And actually, let's put myself over on this because now I'm facing the right direction.
Or
So let's
Andy,
now.
there's sorry.
Oh yeah, go
Here's
ahead.
a question from Fernando. Can students access Flip on their mobile? And I can answer actually, yes, they can, because my students, they use the app, only because they love using their cell phones even more, than laptops,
Yes. So this
whatever.
all works. Yes, all of this works on the app as well, and the app is free. Um, and yes,
Absolutely.
so I'm not going to have this script memorized. I can use a sticky note. So let's go ahead and throw in and say I'm going to record. It's going to count down from 3, and say, "'Tis but thy name that is my enemy. Art thyself not of Montague? It's Montague. It is nor hand, nor foot, nor arm, nor face, nor any other part belonging to a man. Oh, be some other name." And see. That's right. so, so you guys just captured a great fun moment where we can then bring in and we review this.
Say, "'Tis but thy name that is my enemy."
So now we have the ability that we have shown, like the preview of like Romeo and Juliet, Act 2, Scene 2, and then that script that I just read from that sticky note is not part of the screen. It's just me looking like I know what my words are, and we can recreate some of these epic moments and capture them. And then let's add in some music. And so of course let's make this sentimental and let's do this emotional one. I'm sure that this will fit perfectly with our theme. And so we can add that our audio straight in. You have control. You can pick which one you want to use. And then you can control the audio or the volume of it as well. So as we are, we add in our audio to this. All right. So because I think it's because I'm streaming everything right now.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So we add that in, and let's say we can caption it if we want to say R and J, Romeo and Juliet. And so if we wanted to change that selfie, we could always do that. But it's going to upload, and immediately we have this part of our topic. So as I look at my topic here, it's now part of it. I have, and this is another great update
Say,
to Flip. And actually, let me bring back my camera so that, I mean, it doesn't have to be, but I'll
And
open up my camera back
you're
on the
always
screen.
is always super creative. With this Romeo and Juliet, it looks so amazing. I want to grab this idea for sure.
So we have this beautiful full screen preview, which is another great update to Flip. Is that now we have this full screen. We even, in a great addition, because I had to make sure that I will take a moment while it's processing.
"'Tis but thy
So
name that..."
both students and the members have the ability to edit their own captions, and that is such an inclusive space,
Amazing.
or such a brilliant. I love this update part of Flip, is
Me too.
that those who recorded have the ability to edit their own captions. So of course, let that that process go through. But and actually, I'm going to jump to an example here, only because Sean, I know that you have been a phenomenal part of this, showcasing Microsoft 365 Flip app smashes. You've
Yeah,
added
Sean,
some
you
in
rock.
Mercedes.
You totally rock. I've seen your
Yeah,
posts.
please, yeah, share
Brilliant.
share your brilliant app smashes with Flip. I love to hear and celebrate those as well. But an example of being able to do that is actually, I'm going to jump to this one here. Now, obviously, it's my topic, but you can go in. I'm going to use this as an example since the other one, it just takes a moment to process. But you can edit your captions right in Flip, and there we go.
One of my
So
favorite
as
Flip app smashes.
a member, you can go through, change whatever you need, and then update, and then your captions will be updated for everybody. So you can make sure that your voice, what you want to be seen, what you want to be understood, is going to be what is also captioned there as well. Um, because what is great about doing that is that when we also add in,
Say, tis but thy name that is my enemy,
um,
art thou art thyself not
love it, right?
about who was
So we
brought to
can
you,
add
as
in
your
some
hand and
feedback,
foot
and
and
as a
arm of
teacher,
faith.
you can give constructive feedback. But within that as well, we have immersive reader. So again, as a
Wow.
teacher, you can provide
Love this
feedback to your
part a
student.
lot.
Immersive reader is part of those captions as well, or part of that feedback. And as I even, we talk about having that inclusive space utilizing some of those features. So let me actually,
On today's flip.
our captions that we have, that's going to be what we also have as immersive reader within the video response too. So your captions can also then be opened up in immersive
Yes.
reader. So making sure that your words are what you want to be seen, what you want to be heard, you have that ability to add that and access that in immersive reader. It's one of those special things that we want to make sure that everybody's voice is being seen and heard, but also celebrated. Um, so oh my gosh, we're close on time of things. So I do.
Don't, no worries. We're not sure, we're not
I want to
limited
make sure.
here.
Yeah. Okay.
I
Well,
just want
I'm
to
gonna say
say,
I'll be here. Hopefully, yeah, people will join in,
yes.
see and celebrate. But I'm actually going to screen mirror my phone because there's some fun additional parts
Wow.
that
Wow.
we can utilize our flip camera. So hey, everybody, let me say how many indies can we
How many Andes?
see here? Actually, I'm going to maximize that. There we go. So as we are looking at our mobile access, again, just like one of the questions, are all these things there? Yes. That we have our backdrops that you can bring in. You can utilize those. Create mode is right there. And again, you can tap and change what that duration is. Even bringing in your own picture. So let's use our, I have a minion here. And so as I have a photo, this was a brilliant share from Sophia, part of the flip team, but you have this beautiful, gradient blend that it's unique to each photo that you import. So something to, play around, experience, check out. But when I go back to my audio, this is what then is also very fun, is that there are different modes within mic only mode. So, or different visuals. So we can tap on the screen and see some different the sound waves, but then we have that little, those bars to the right of our record. We can go back to the pulsing circle and check out this boombox. This is a cool one. It's out there now, but you can utilize this boombox. You want to be a cup of Joe, or you could be a pretty sharp cactus. Again, these are just great uses within our flip lenses that are part of mobile. And since I am in mobile, of course, all this is part. Our lenses are also part of the web. But since I'm here, I'm just going to stick with not transitioning back and forth. But we have some great lenses, and if you tap on some, you get a little bonus experience. Breaking news: there are phenomenal lenses now on web as well, but you can check out some fun ones and then even add in some lenses where you can tap and add in, which really supports all of your students. If you're doing some check-ins on how are they feeling, what's going on in school, you can let them use a lens to cover their face and tell a story, and maybe if they're just not feeling like they want to talk a lot today, you can let them share and say, I'm just going to be quiet like a mouse today. But of course, use Flip, have some fun. But I want to stress that we have those lenses to let that experience be part of your web experience as well. And this is great, regardless what kind of device you're on, to be able to let those lenses, be seen and used within your classroom. And again, some hidden gems that if you click on that screen, you'll come up with some really great ideas and uses of leveraging these lenses to be part of your classroom experience. Um, I I can barely contain
Wow.
myself here. All right, so I'm a dad. That's a good dad joke. So again, yeah, I love sharing all the Flip updates, creative ways that you can leverage and utilize Flip within your classrooms, because sharing Flip is just as fun and easy. Where that if we are, I'll actually let me, we have Flip AR that, every video has a link, but you also have that QR code that you can click and share to be able to, see that in augmented reality, to be able to, let me actually, there we go. To be able to take that QR code, regardless whether
Oh,
you're using
love
to
this.
showcase student work. This is, my son, and so showcasing his oil pastel smubble that he did. But when you scan that QR code with the Flip app, you can then open it up in augmented reality, and allows you to let students, share what they did, share their voice of what kind of work they had. But I mean, he's a shy kid, but letting him share and see how proud he was of the work he did is great. Some great uses of sharing with Flip AR is, within stories, letting that story be told. Stacy using Flip AR to let a story be heard or to be read, but using it actually where she then shared with ASL. And which I just love the inclusive, use of Flip. Jennifer, an amazing educator in the community, using Flip AR for subplanes. I just love the uses and creative ways that educators use it. Eric Garcia using Flip to let students access their assessment. And I see, yeah, it's Paul. But
Yeah, that comment just blew me away. Your innovation was too much for the.
yeah, oh, I
Always,
broke the
always brilliant
second round, yeah.
ideas. Super creative ones from
But
Andy.
just
Do
creating
follow.
such an inclusive space, which eliminates so many things, like saying, can you repeat something? Can you say it slower? A stigma of students needing to leave the classroom to receive an accommodation or to have something be read. Utilizing Flip in that way is inclusive. But then you have it ready for next year when you create something with Flip, which returns time back to you in the classroom. So again, like I said, so many great ways that you can use Flip in the classroom. I of course, share those aha moments. I hope that
Yeah.
you are, you're walking away. I know that we're, close on our time, so I want to be respectful of that. But at the same time, we'd love to hear from you, what ideas you have to share. Whether it's PD events or, Flip events. We have amazing events every week, whether they're PD events or
You
connecting with amazing experts, authors, scientists, all around the world. Join in with those, and be a lifelong learner. I have to share some friends that we have at Microsoft of Take Lessons. They are some new friends that we have that you can learn, anything. I mean, the idea that I've enjoyed taking lessons on Minecraft, on ASL, even learning to play the ukulele a little bit better. And then, like I said, we share some of this feedback is you ask, we listen, that, share your takeaways. How, what are your thoughts? Share that with us, aka.ms/flip PD feedback, because at the end of that, you'll then have the ability to receive a certificate that you were part of our event today to be able to take that, share with your school of continuing ed credits, but that you have the ability to, earn that yourself. But I thank you so much on behalf of the entire engagement team. Thank you so much for taking time, as I am honored to be able to join you, Anna, to be able to share so many, new Flip updates, because there's so many amazing possibilities as we empower every voice within our classrooms and our communities.
I just want to say again, lots of love. Thank you so much, Andy, for sharing always generously, super generously. And I've shared with the resource collection. Please check out the Q&A box on YouTube, our live chat. You will find it there, all the links, all the resources. You can find the link to the, PD certificate, Flip PD certificate in the collection. But I also shared with the direct link, to this place where you can get your PD certificate. Please do
Yeah.
give us some shout outs on Twitter, and don't forget to tag, share with your beautiful certificates, with your beautiful highlights, wows, and your takeaways from the session. Post them on Twitter, Instagram, and all of the links there in the Wake Up Resource collection. I also shared, with the ready to use, like something that you can add to your post, hashtags and these tags. So just copy paste, look through the amazing live chat. Thanks everyone for sharing your beautiful thoughts, ideas on inclusive education and everything, that you shared all your ideas. Super brilliant about Flip. Andy, as always, you're incredible. Fantastic presentation as always, because Flip, it's universe. I suggest you to go to Discover Library and just to find the template, start from that place, because I myself shared a lot there, and I'm proud of these topics. I'm proud of people who already shared, amazing educators, special educators, and there's universe of templates. If you're a teacher of math, physics, or chemistry, you will find anything, right? You will find everything what you need.
There are over, oh my gosh, 46, almost, maybe there's probably even 47,000 topics out there, of brilliant, amazing partners. And the best part is every single one of them are free. You can bring them into your own group and then edit it to make it authentic for you, your students, and to have that authentic voice within your classroom that makes sense for your instruction. So once you bring that in, you can edit it to make it fit your needs as well.
And there's just, I think the final question. I haven't seen so far any, like the in this on this lovely last note. I would love to mention this question from Fernando. When using Flip, can you divide the group in several small groups, like breakout rooms, in order to maximize students' participation?
So
Andy.
yes, and absolutely. So and actually, I saw that, and Stormy, you're spot on.
Yeah.
Yes, so making multiple topics, and that's exactly what I did when using Flip for like my Rube Goldberg is, or even math, projects and things. But you have a group, but then you can make topics be specific for each group. Or if you were having students present on something, then they would have their responses all fit that topic or that theme. And you can title those topics whatever you want. But yeah, so that would be like a specific space. But again, you have unlimited groups, unlimited topics. So if you really wanted to make a group for that group, you could, and then have multiple topics within there for that singular group as well. But 100%, yes, you can totally make it however makes sense for you in your classroom.
Fantastic. Again, thanks to everyone who joined us. Was amazing because of you, Andy, and thank you for sparking us, and thank you for sharing all the updates that happen on Microsoft Flip. It was incredible. All the resources you will find in our live chat. Again, thanks everyone for joining us, and so stay safe. And any last words from you, Andy?
I thank you. I can't say thank you enough to every educator out there. My wife's an educator as well, so I thank everybody for what you're doing for your classrooms, your students, their families. Truly, it is a very sincere thing. But please connect, share with us on social, because we want to see and celebrate you. And of course, absolutely connect with us on social at Microsoft Flip for sure.
Thanks everyone. Amazing session, amazing Andy. And I'm going to say bye and stay tuned for the upcoming webinar. Today we're having a great webinar as well with Melissa. So stay tuned and see you in the next videos. Bye everyone.